Okay, so Jaguar Wright just dropped some wild details about the Beyonce tape that has been rumored to make the rounds in the industry. For those of you who don't know, there have been reports that when the feds raided Diddy's houses earlier this year, they seized hundreds of tapes from his house, including allegedly one that showed Beyonce in a very inappropriate and compromising situation. Well, Jaguar Wright is now claiming that not only was the tape being shopped around, but it also had been bought by an anonymous billionaire who allegedly paid about $50 million for it. And get this, it looks like Beyonce is finally sick and tired of having Jaguar speak on her name because her lawyer just issued a cease and desist to Jaguar to keep her mouth shut on Beyonce. Y'all, there's a lot going on here, but Jaguar has a lot of tea to spill, and she is not about to let herself be silenced, okay? So to be fair, we haven't seen any actual footage from this alleged freak-offs, but a few pictures leaked online a couple of days ago, and they are undeniably shocking, King. One of these alleged victims leaked some secret photos taken at these parties, and the public reaction has been intense, to say the least. As shocking as these pictures are, those who claim to have seen the rumored Beyonce video suggest that it's far more disturbing than anything they've ever encountered so far. This raises some serious questions, though, about what truly went down at these events, because it seems to be absolutely insane. Although rumors of Beyonce's involvement in these parties have been floating around since the very beginning, it wasn't until a few days ago that reports surfaced of her being allegedly caught on tape engaging in some, let's just say, highly interesting activities. And there are now reports that the tape is being shopped around for a potential buyer, with big media houses being alleged to be in the bidding war. Now, the information about Beyonce's tape was first revealed by an attorney named Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, who gave an interview discussing her intention to file an SAW claim lawsuit against Diddy on behalf of one of her clients for confidential reasons. Ariel couldn't reveal the client's name or give any clues about the client's identity. Still, the story she shared, as similar to the accounts of other women who have accused Diddy of assay, his alleged demo typically involved spiking women's drinks before assaying them, and according to Ariel, this is what happened to her client. The woman in question allegedly met Diddy in 2018 while she was at a friend's house. Her friend turned out to be connected to Diddy and other influential figures in the industry. She alleges at some point during the night, the friend invited Diddy over, and he came with some of his crew. She went on to claim that Diddy allegedly spiked her drink as aid her using an inanimate object, and then forced another man present to assault her while he watched and pleasured himself disturbingly. Though the woman also claims that Diddy's assistant, Christina Coram, who has been referred to as Ghislaine Maxwell to Diddy's Epen, was present and witnessed the entire incident without intervening or offering any help.
Called me and told me a very horrific story about her assault and her escape from the assault. She told me that she was at a friend's house who had industry ties and was on the phone with Diddy, and he decided to come to the house. And when he came to the house, everything was fine, that there was another woman there who determined to be Christina Coram, KK, who Diddy talks about a lot as his right-hand woman, if you will, and that they were discussing sex trafficking her. And then that led to her being served a drink where then she started to feel woozy. And then Mr. Combs sexually assaulted her with an inanimate object, and then actually directed another gentleman to sexually assault her while he watched and pleasured himself. So she was able to escape eventually and ran out into the street yelling and screaming, and a neighbor heard her because this happened in a quiet suburban neighborhood, if you will.
So there's a witness?
Yes, we have a witness. We also have a police report, and that was made in 2018, that she, when she initially filed the police report, she didn't name Diddy out of fear of retaliation, and more importantly, fear that no one would believe her.
Right.
So she then updated that report, and we've been working with law enforcement to have them actually look into that report. They didn't do too much then, but now they are looking more closely at it.
All right, so let's slow that down just a minute. So when we talk about what happened in that house and she's running out to the street, I can see it as you're describing it so well. Did she call the police right away? You said that obviously that there is a police report, but is she calling 911? Is she going to the neighbor's house? Can you give us any more detail about what happened?
Sure. What she did was, as she's running out the house yelling, a neighbor saw her and invited her into the home.
Okay.
And it's the neighbor who then called the police, and the police did come out at that time. They also stated that they heard cars screeching, and the neighbor went outside and saw a black SUV leaving the premises very quickly. And by the time the police arrived, of course, he was no longer there.
Well, was the neighbor able to identify who it was?
The neighbor wasn't, only that they saw the car leaving, and they only described the truck. They could not tell who was inside, but she told the neighbor at the time who it was and why they were leaving so abruptly.
Unsurprisingly, despite the 911 call, the police reportedly didn't take any action or even question Diddy. This lack of response is not shocking, considering the long-standing rumors that Diddy allegedly has the police in his pocket, using his influence to make his supposed crimes disappear and be swept under the rug. Additionally, though both Cassie and Little Rod exposed Diddy in their lawsuits, accusing him of using intimidation tactics to scare and manipulate his victims into silence. These claims even go as far as alleging that he threatened to end their lives if they spoke out.
Due to the high-profile nature that it was Mr. Combs who did this, she was afraid for her life. She was concerned that if she was to come forward and say something, that no one would believe her, because we're talking about 2018 when Mr. Combs was still pretty much at the height of his career, still very much so an icon and influential figure. So she's just a young girl from Northern California who's gonna believe that he had done something to her like this. So she didn't tell anybody. She did not hire an attorney. All she did was make the police report in the hopes that maybe the police would try to investigate and come up with anything, but she said she kind of felt from the police.
Do you know if he was interviewed? I mean, he was named in the police report?
I don't think so. Based on what she said, she really felt that the police were trying to bury this and disregard her claims and not really investigate, which is another reason why a lot of victims don't report these things to the police. We have to address the elephant in the room is that we have victims, especially women, who go to the police, who are typically men, who don't actually investigate these things. They victim blame, they victim shame, and women don't feel safe or even protected to even make these claims because they don't think they'll be taken seriously, nor will their claims be investigated.
But Ariel didn't stop there. She went on to reveal that she was recently contacted by another client who wanted her assistance in brokering the sale of a tape featuring one of the most prominent celebrities in the industry. According to Ariel, the celebrity was clearly unaware that they were being thin.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait, say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes.
Yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on.
No, I can't.